Hi
right.
there, I'm Ben.
I'm Becca, and we're the Family Fulfillment Project. And today we're going to be talking about the pros and cons of RV living. Dun dun dun.
Do-do-do.
A lot of people have asked for us to do. Okay, go on the ground, go play. Go. Don't go. Okay. A lot of people have asked us to do a pros and con list. We've only been in the trailer for a couple months, so we're still new at this. So I think we're probably the perfect people to tell you because we're still learning. So if you're considering doing this,
We're still learning, but we've got a couple of months under our belt, and so I feel like we've gotten a pretty good taste of what it's really like to live full time in an RV with a family. With a
Yeah.
large family, specifically with young kids.
yeah. So we have 4 kids, 6 and under. So we have a 6-year-old, a 5-year-old, a 2-year-old, and a 1-year-old. So
And me.
yeah, so I have 5 children. Just kidding. All right, so we're going to start off with our cons first, and then we'll end on a more positive note and tell you about our pros. And then at the end, we'll have some question and answers.
Yeah, so stick around to the end, then you can actually hear the good stuff.
Yes. So first con is learning to live tiny.
Yes.
Like the learning curve, right?
We went from a 2,000 square foot house
Over
to
2,000 square
or
feet.
2,300 square foot house down to less than 300 square feet with 6 people, and it was quite a task.
Yes.
We
got rid of so much stuff.
We did.
We're still getting rid of stuff.
Becca did a great job of organizing it all and getting everything in here, and we're set up really well, but it's still a very, very small space.
Yes. And when your kids are used to having a playroom or large open areas to run indoors, then it's a little bit strange for them to adapt to having this tiny space that when they walk around it's so loud, and it's a very strange transition for your children as well, because at least for us, we had a big basement play area where they could go crazy, and like they had a playground in there, so they could go crazy indoors. So mentally for them, it was hard for them to adjust to being inside this tiny space when the weather is nice. So here's another con. Bad weather. Living tiny in bad weather.
Oh, it's terrible.
It's terrible.
Because
it's not for us.
Yeah, you don't have the space to have...
Like right now. Do you see what we're wearing? It's freezing outside.
You don't have the space to have everybody kind of in their own area, and so everybody's kind of cooped up in this tiny little space. So when it's cold out, not only do you have less space to be able to exist inside, but you also have to worry a lot more about the cold.
Yes. Well, and even when it's nice weather, it's challenging because the kids want to go run around outside, like they have freedom in their yard per se. But here and in RV parks, national parks, stuff like that, they don't have the same freedom because we have to watch them, because you don't know who's in the RV park with you. And so just more eyes all the time on your children. Like you have to have eyes all the time on your young kids.
That's a con both for the parents and the kids.
Yeah.
Because we don't have as much free time because
no.
basically if the kids are outside, we have to be out there with them. We can't just send them outside. They're too little to be out there on their own. And it's a con for the kids too, because they don't really ever get to have their own time to do whatever they want, to run around and go crazy. So that's definitely been an adjustment for all of us.
I gave him the spatulas to play with and some command strips.
Okay, what's next? Noise.
Yes. Volume level. So this is what gets me the most. I'm super sensory. So like our son Wesley, he walks like boom, boom, boom. And he can't help it. He just like walks with flat feet. But in the trailer, it's hollow underneath, or it's not hollow, but
Well, yeah, I mean, we're not on the ground, so every step that you take in here is
boom,
like 10 times louder than it would be in a regular house.
and it shakes a little bit because we don't have additional stabilizers. You can spend money and buy stabilizers, but the startup costs for RVing are so high. You're just like every second of every day that we did not want to spend. Let it rain. We did not want to spend more money on stabilizers. So we're like, we can get used to it. But oh man, like he'll just be walking down the hall and we'll feel like you'll get seasick a little bit. It shakes so much. But I know that's different for fifth wheelers. They have better stabilization systems. I know that's different for RVs. We are just talking about our personal experience in our travel trailer. So it's just shaky.
It's shaky and it's very loud.
Yes.
When we have little kids that make a lot of noise and run around like crazy because this is the only space they have to run around,
Yeah. Well,
it's very, very
even
noisy.
if they're not running around, even if they're just walking and they're
Yeah.
just excited.
Yeah.
Kids just are noisy.
There's
they
no
are.
quiet place in here.
No.
That's for sure.
You cannot escape.
Our next con, RV parks.
Yes. We are not a fan of RV parks.
No. With RVing, we would much rather either be in a state park, a national park, BLM land, something
Yeah.
like that. RV parks are too close together. We're used to having our own space, and we don't necessarily like being just kind of in a big parking lot.
Yeah. At home, we live on some acreage, so our neighbors are fairly far away. They're so friendly, and we love all of them, but we all have our own space and privacy. You can't see each other when you're in your yard. It's really nice. And even when we lived in the neighborhood, you would step out your front door and you wouldn't be able to extend your arm and touch the person next to you. But in an RV park, your awning goes out, more than not, your awning goes out and you're almost touching your neighbor. So when you have a crying baby in the middle of the night who won't sleep, you're now concerned about not only waking up everyone else in your trailer, but you're worried about waking up your neighbors who are right next to you.
It's kind of like living in an apartment again,
Yeah, it does. It feels like living in an apartment.
but there's less privacy.
Miller's hitting the ground with a spatula.
Yeah, sorry.
Sorry.
It's all part of it.
RV living.
Go
Oh, look,
downstairs.
Wait, do you see that
Oh,
shake?
wait.
That was him crawling. I'm not kidding. Okay, next con.
Next one, Wi-Fi.
Oh, wait, let me talk about RV park just a little bit more.
Okay.
There are some RV parks that are so nice and spacious and paved and beautiful, and it is a good break between state parks, national parks to do laundry and whatnot. But when we stay more than 2 or 3 nights, we feel like, ew, why are we doing this?
Yeah, it definitely doesn't feel like an adventure
Yeah.
once we've been
It
there
just
for
feels like
several
we're
nights.
living there, and so many people live there full time, and that's so great. Or they stay there for a long time, and that's so great. But that's just not what we're looking for, because we're not. This isn't a lifestyle for us. We're not doing this for 2 or 3 years. This is a year.
This is an
6
adventure.
months to a year adventure. We're just setting out, trying something new, and so it's different for us. It's different for what we're looking for. So it also depends on what you're looking for when you hit the road.
We love camping. We absolutely love camping. So I think
Tent camping.
Tent camping. That's what we've done our entire lives. This is the first time that we've had an RV or
First
done
time we've ever stayed in an RV.
Exactly. So, it definitely doesn't feel like camping for us at all if we're in an RV park.
Yeah.
So, okay, next one, Wi-Fi. I think this is a common problem with everybody in the RV community, but Wi-Fi is such a huge
Pain.
issue and concern and pain all the time.
Well,
and
especially when you're on the road, because you get your mail through email. You get your
Mm-hmm.
mail through Wi-Fi, you pay your bills through Wi-Fi. We're doing YouTube, we need Wi-Fi.
Absolutely. Whenever we want to upload a video, most of the time if we're at an RV park or a state park or anywhere, we'll finish it and I'll start uploading it when we go to bed, and maybe it'll be done by the time we wake up in the morning.
Or half
8
the
hours
time
later.
it just quits and it doesn't do it.
Yeah.
And then one time he went to Starbucks and even their Wi-Fi was too bad and he couldn't upload it. So when our videos are inconsistent, it's because the Wi-Fi is inconsistent.
Yeah.
What can you do?
And
There are things you can do.
There's a lot of different gadgets that you can purchase that can help with that a lot. But again, everything costs money. So there's every single comfort that you could have when you're RVing is just like at your house. There's certain
Except
comforts
10
that
times more.
Yeah, exactly. So, I know that there's some people that will buy Wi-Fi extenders that you can
Don't bite.
mount to the top
Don't
of
bite.
your RV, and that
Don't
will
bite.
help a lot. That's something that, if we were doing this for several years, maybe we would probably do.
Oh, for sure. Yes. If this was
but-
more than a year adventure, we would invest in those things. This is the next con we're going to talk about, is that it's not an investment.
No, a trailer is... This thing is shaking like crazy.
This is Miller jumping right now. Do you see the earthquake we're experiencing? That was a good example.
That's only from a 1-year-old.
That's a 1-year-old just moving on the slide.
An RV depreciates in value much like a vehicle does. It is not an investment whatsoever.
Per our experience. I know some people have bought and sold their RV for the same or more. Depends on the deal you get on it. but we do not expect to make money on an RV.
Yeah, for the most part, RVs
That's
depreciate
fake.
in value.
That's not a real cost.
And as you use them, things break, things wear. These are not meant. No, this is RV means recreational vehicle, and that means that they're not meant to be lived in full time. They're meant for recreation.
But we take really good care of the trailer, but there is a lot to take care of, and we know that with that, we can't sell it for more than we bought it for. You know, we bought it for a very decent price. We got our trailer for $23,000, brand new. I think it sold for what, 40?
Yeah, 35 to 40.
Yeah, 35 to 40, and it was 2 years old, 3 years old.
3 years old.
3 years old.
Yeah.
So that's a good ding, and the value of the trailer that the previous owners took on it. So you just have to approach it as, and how you're eating your sock. You have to approach it. For us personally, we approached it. This is an experience. You know, we're paying for our experience. We didn't approach it in any way as a financial gain. Like,
No.
we just.
I think the only time that RVing or living in an RV could be a financial gain is when it's a means to a financial investment.
Yes, definitely.
So
Definitely.
there's a lot of people that will live full time in an RV on a piece of property that they're building a house on. I think that's a great idea.
We would do that for sure.
Yeah,
We would do
because
that.
then you're spending much less money than you would be renting an entire another property, and then you're right there on site. Or if you're just wanting to live
rude.
really cheap for a period of time while you save up money to make a better investment with your money.
Or if you're trying to get debt free and you're wanting to live very low cost, excellent idea.
Absolutely. So
Or traveling like we're doing, great idea. Just don't expect to get your
Yeah.
money in return. For
Yeah,
something.
on the actual trailer itself, in the car that you have to pull it, don't expect that part to be an investment. It could be a lifestyle that costs so much less that it's an investment for you because you can save more.
Yes.
But okay, we are rambling.
Yes.
Last con.
No, there's one on the other page too.
Oh, next con,
Ow,
work.
ow, ow.
There's a constant amount of work that goes with traveling full time in a trailer.
There's a lot of prep for when you leave. When you get there, you have to connect the sewer and the water and the electric, and you have to put the jacks down. You have to unhook from your car. You have to pull your car away. You have to take your slides out. You have to set up everything after your slides are out, and that goes for the same when you leave. So
Yeah.
there's just constantly maintenance, or not maintenance, but just work. And
Yeah.
personally, I don't do any of that work.
There's a big task list that needs to be done every time you
Yeah.
set up and every time you leave. And granted, there's trade-offs. We don't have a yard that we have to take care of. We don't have all the things in a normal house that we do.
Here's another con is the driving situation for when you have a big family. We did not want to drive separately. So ideally, we would have gotten a fifth wheeler, but they cost more money, and you have to have a truck to pull them. And we have 4 kids, and we weren't willing to have one of our kids sit in the front with us. For one, safety reasons, because they're only 6 and they're still in a booster. And for 2, I don't want to drive 7 hours with my toddler sitting between me when she could be sitting in the back happily playing with her brother, So that wasn't something that we were willing to do. And driving separately, you can't get it. And driving separately definitely wasn't an option because we're doing this for the experience of our time together, our time as a family. And I just feel like that would take away from that for both of us. And I fall asleep while I drive, so that would be good.
Ford Excursion was really the only car that was big enough to fit our whole family and have the towing capacity to pull it.
Yeah.
It's not as good at pulling heavy loads as a newer vehicle would be.
Yeah.
So there's downsides that go with that, but we've been really happy with
Yeah,
it.
we
in
just
general.
take our sweet time.
Yeah.
We're not in a hurry.
What's next?
That's all. So that's all our cons that we can think of. So let's talk about a little bit happier stuff. Let's talk about the pros.
The pros. Okay. To preface the pros, and maybe this will be a conclusion, but with the pros and cons all put together, we absolutely would never change the decision to do what we're doing.
Yes.
We
love it.
We absolutely love what we're doing.
Yes.
There are pros and cons to every single decision that you make
Yep.
in life, and this one was a great decision, and we're very, very happy with what we're doing.
We just thought, okay, what's the best way we can get out the door? What's the best way to change our lifestyle? And what's the quickest way that's fathomable with our children to get them into the travel lifestyle? So that's our first pro. It's a quick way to change your life
Hey.
and to get your kids into the traveling mode. Our kids haven't really traveled a lot because Ben was a workaholic previously. So
What?
you were. So we haven't traveled a lot, and they've never experienced a life that wasn't very consistent and scheduled. So we didn't want to just throw them into like a 17-hour plane ride and an Airbnb. You know, we wanted to slowly transform their new life into something else. So we bought the trailer, we brought their normal bedding, you know, we brought their precious toys and things that we couldn't fit on a plane, you know. And this is a way to get them into the lifestyle that we're leading to. And it's been so nice because, you get to take your home with you wherever you go.
Yeah, and especially for kids, I think that's
Don't ruin my puzzle.
especially for having little kids, I think that's a huge deal. They get to have their same bed that they're used to and comfortable with, and their same living space every single night, which is really cool. As we're traveling around, seeing all these different places, they still get to go back to that familiar place every single day. Mm-hmm. So I think that's really helped them to get used to the travel life.
Yeah, especially with our daughter and our son. Yeah, our 6 and 5-year-old, because their life has been scheduled and regimented. Every meal has been at the same time. Bedtime has always been at the same time. We do the same activities on certain days. So it's been...
Do you want to be a part of this?
It's been really healthy for them to transition in this way. So we would not change that. This is a great way to travel with your family. It's hands down a great way.
Absolutely.
So another pro is it's budget friendly.
Compared to other ways to travel,
Yeah.
this was definitely the cheapest way that we could come up with, that we could travel around full time, that we could see all these amazing places that we wanted to see.
As a family of 6.
Yeah, as a family of 6.
Yes, it might be. It's probably different as a family of 4. You know, but we
On
have.
your own.
Yeah, we have 6 flights to buy because that guy is such a wiggler. He couldn't sit on our lap for 12 hours on a flight. So we have 6 seats that we need to fill butts in planes. So this is just a cheaper way for us. So it's a very budget friendly way to travel. And instead of paying $100 to $300 a night for a hotel, we're paying $15 to $45 a night for an RV spot. So budget friendly.
Budget friendly.
And if you're interested in us doing a budget video and breaking down our numbers and actually sharing with you our personal budget, write in the comments, because if you'd like to see that, we'll do that for you. Another pro is that we have been able to see so many family members that we haven't seen in years. But we live in Washington State. That's where we lived. And we have so many great friends, so many great family members there, but they're Ben's family.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we have extended family, or Becca's family, all over the country.
Yeah.
So we got to spend a bunch of time with family in Arizona. We got to spend family time in Texas. We're going to see more family along the way in Florida.
Yeah.
And there's more opportunities, you know, all over the United States for us to see people that we would normally wouldn't be able to see,
Yeah.
you know, in their home instead of them coming to us.
Yeah, so that's been really amazing to visit family, but still have our own personal space and to spend quality time with them. So that's been one of the biggest bonuses, has been able to see family and we've been staying and seeing my parents for a month now, when we would never see them. So that's been really fun to see them in their element here in Texas, when before Ben wouldn't be able to take off the time. Or if the kids were in school, we couldn't take off the time. So that's a very big bonus, is to spend time with family and friends throughout the United States that we don't get to see very often.
Okay, so another pro. This is the easiest and cheapest way to make a quick change. So we were looking to make a drastic change in our lives. I quit my job and we wanted to travel full time all together. And this was the easiest and quickest way to do it, is basically buy a home on wheels and take your home with you and pull it behind your car.
Like that? Here, go over there. Go over here. Go get it. Go get it. Yay!
Look at those toys.
It's the easiest, cheapest way to make a big change. You know, we were looking to make a big change in our lives. We wanted to spend more time together. I quit my job and we wanted to go travel full time as a family. And compared to other ways, compared to other options of doing something like that, this is definitely the way to do it. You know, RVs are all over the place. We bought used. You can buy new.
Why did I give him a toy with a ball rattle in it?
Yeah, I know. And like we keep talking about, specifically with a young, big family like we are, this was definitely the easiest way to start out changing our lives.
Yep. And on that note, another pro is just, or not even a pro, but just a suggestion is if you're thinking about doing this, do not look for the perfect RV. Do not look for the perfect trailer, like fifth wheel. There is no such thing.
This model that we bought was literally the first model that we ever walked into when we started looking for trailers. Then we looked for another 2 months after that, and we ended up buying this one. So we may have just gotten lucky.
Find one that fits in your budget. If you think it'll work, then do it. And my main suggestion for you is if you do not have to go into debt over your vehicle and your trailer, do not do it. And that's something that we can talk more about in a financial video. So again, comment and let us know if you want us to do that, because that's one thing that we're very passionate about is our finances, especially now that we're unemployed. So we are on top of that. So if you have any questions about that or want us to do a video, let us know.
And we kind of already touched on this, but it's basically that you can live wherever you want to live all the time. If you are sick of where you are, pack up and go somewhere else. You're not stuck in a mortgage in a house, in a neighborhood that you don't want to be in, or someplace that you don't want to be.
We've been in campsites that we love and we stay extra time. We've been in campsites that we hate and we pulled in and then pulled right back out. So that is like glorious. You don't have to stay in this little sketchy RV park. You can leave. A big pro is
boondocking.
We love it,
and we're actually really not set up to boondock for more than a couple nights in a row.
Not at all.
We don't have a generator. We don't have solar panels. We don't have any of that.
And when our battery's running low, our heat doesn't work. The furnace works because of the propane, but the fan doesn't work. It is a...
Can you do that again?
It hits the...
Sounds just like that.
It does. It does.
That's incredible.
It sounds just like that, but you can't sleep through it because the fan doesn't have any battery to run off of. But boondocking is glorious. You're not smushed in together.
You're not paying for a campsite.
It's free. There's BML land everywhere. That's gorgeous.
BLM land.
That's what I said.
You said BML.
Oh, yeah. But it's everywhere and it's free. And if we were going to do this long term, if we decide to continue doing this all year or longer, we will get solar panels and we'll set ourselves up for that. But when we're still kind of deciding what we're going to do in our next chapter, we're unsure. So we boondock for 1 or 2 days, 3 days here and there. But we love that the most.
Yeah, especially because usually that allows us to be on our own, which is what we prefer. We don't like to be sandwiched in with 100 other people, and we can really explore and do what we want.
Yeah.
So let's do some Q&A now.
All right. Court Vilner. As you travel further away from family and friends, are you worried about the lack of downtime you and your husband will have away from the kids? No sitters for nights out or just a few hours to do something away from the kids? So,
very good question.
Oops, sorry. When we're at home, we don't really have a lot of date nights.
No, we really don't. With 4 little kids,
not a lot of people are willing to watch them.
Yeah, and we have grandparents at home that do watch
that
them.
That are great, and if we ask, they will.
And we're very thankful for that.
Yeah.
But we still don't have a whole lot of nights out, so we've gotten pretty used to that. But that's a very valid question because it's true. When we're on our own, it's all of us, and that's it. So the only break that you really get is either when all the kids are asleep.
Yeah.
That's when we really can have kind of our own date nights at home.
And that's why we stick to a schedule. We put the kids down at a certain time every night because once they're asleep, we'll set up once every 2 weeks. We'll purposely have a date night in the trailer. Mm-hmm. And we would do that at home too. We'd put our electronics away, we'll rent a movie, we'll light some candles, and we'll bake ourselves some cookies or have some popcorn. We're very intentional about our date nights together. We can feel when we need that time.
Yep.
So just like at home, we kind of set that time apart for ourselves.
And even though it might not sound that glamorous, we take advantage of any time that we have kind of alone to talk So like
driving.
When we're driving,
Yeah.
when all the kids are busy in the back, or half of them are sleeping and the other ones are doing
Playing.
something, we're up in the front and we get to talk with each other. So that's those are the times that we really have to be intentional about saying, okay, this is our time.
Like, what do we need to work on? What are we happy with? Like, we talk about our relationship then, but actually, I feel like we have more quality time. We have a ton more quality time now than we did.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like, it's night and day different.
Mm-hmm.
Like, our prime date nights are going on walks. Like,
Yeah.
we connect the best when we're doing an activity, or so really I think this has been so healthy for us. So no, that to answer your question more directly, we're not worried about it. Not at this point. This is from LJ.
This is from
1208.
LJ 1208.
All right, so first question. I'm sorry. Okay, first question. I know this is the beginning, but have you gotten homesick or worried about feeling homesick in the future? No.
Absolutely not.
Not even a little bit. So much so that we're questioning if we should move back.
Everybody at home, I love you so much, and you're awesome, and we're having such a great time that I'm sorry, but,
We love you, but we don't miss you. Okay, second question. How often are you sweeping and vacuuming the sand and dirt from the inside of the RV? Or
Oh my
cleaning in
gosh.
general? Not looking forward to that part. All the time.
Constantly.
All the time.
But to be honest, is that really that much different than at home?
No. I mean, I swept and vacuumed probably 2 or 3 times at home.
I think you can get away with it longer at home
Yeah, 'cause
because
there's
there's
more
more surface
space.
area for everything to be spread out
It
in.
spreads out.
So
I'm repeating
here,
what you said.
here you're required to do that way more often. But the nice thing is that it takes a fraction of the amount of time.
Oh, it takes 2 seconds. And I mop every single time we move before we bring the slides in. Please don't bite me.
There's the same amount to clean up as there was before. The kids are just as dirty as they have always been. It's just now everything is concentrated in this one little area. So it's actually much easier to clean. We just
Yes.
have to do it a lot more often.
So game changer, get a little vacuum, like a just little hand one, and get a broom and a dustpan. That's all you need, and like a Swiffer, or I have like a more heavy duty Swiffer. I think I have a Bona. We'll link it below.
Yeah.
But yes, you clean a lot, but it takes 5 seconds. So thanks for giving us some questions. We got some more, but I think we answered them all with our pros and cons. And yeah, this is fun.
This was
Tell
great.
us if you like this type of video, because we haven't really done this type where we're just talking to you. So let us know.
Yeah, we haven't done very many informational videos, so let us know what else you would like that you would like to hear from us. Thanks for watching. We're the Family Fulfillment Project. This is Becca.
We already introduced ourselves.
Yeah, I'm doing an extroduce ourselves.
Okay, we'll see you next time. Comment below if you'd like to see more videos.
Bye.
Bye.
What I think about it? Is this good? Is it good? Do I like it? Do I not? Am I happy? Am I sad? Do I want to go here? Do I want to go there? What do I want to do? I don't really know. It's all up here. It's all in my head. And it goes poof, poof. I just don't really know what I want to do.
Who are you right now? Miller, are you concerned? Miller's concerned. Okay, let's go pick up our other kids.